Chiara, can you please, so before we go on, everybody, this is going to be recorded. So if you don't want to be recorded in video, because it will be shared on the website, please just turn off your camera. Otherwise, it's an agreement that you are okay with being in the video recording. And if you, Chiara, can increase the volume because they're asking in the chat. Sorry.
I try to do my best. Okay, so what is a participatory art for part art ocean and water? For ocean and water is a process that emphasizes the proactive role and the participation of citizens, communities, and the society at large in creative, innovative, and artistic projects. So we see participatory art as a process that empowers citizens and also communities through reinforcement or building of social bonds. Engaging citizens is something that happen at different stage in the creative process. So it's critical for part art for ocean and water that participatory art initiatives envisage the participation, the proactive participation of citizens in all the stages of the creative processes. This can be, as you see in the pink lines, this can be understood as involving citizens in project idea development, in the participation of artwork development, in the collection of information, data you need for creating your creative process, in involving people in the research process, as I say, and in advocacy, in the evaluation of the results, in communication, but there may be other. Next, please. So what is a PI? A PI, a participatory art initiative, is a trans or interdisciplinary proposal, which is also intersectoral and participatory, and it lasts for 6 months. And the PI's team should be composed of people from different backgrounds, different expertise, different competencies, and this will be merged together they should fit nicely in the way that it's possible to overcome the disciplinary boundaries and collaborate across disciplines and sectors. So we give preferences to consortia consisting of organizations from different sectors, despite also individual organization may apply. Next, please. What are we looking for? We are looking for all artistic and creative expressions. PIs are expected to use at least one mode of artistic or creative expression, including but not limited to visual, including painting, drawing, printmaking, sculpture, ceramics, photography, etc., or literary, prose, fiction, drama, or performing, dance, drama, music, action art, street art, or even digital art and new media or fashion design and gaming. Next one. All of the PIs are intended to increase ocean literacy as required by the Mission Ocean work plan. The comprehension of how the ocean impacts individuals and how individuals and society affect the ocean is the core of our work and is expected to be the core of the PI's work as well. So we want the PIs to improve the capability to recognize the ecosystem services provided by the ocean, to effectively communicate about the ocean and internal water, and to make informed and responsible decisions regarding the ocean. When we refer to ocean literacy, we encompass elements of knowledge, awareness, but also emotional attachment and changes in the attitudes, in the behavior, and also creating potentially new opportunities to put new knowledge into practice through action. So once again, we want to stress that despite ocean literacy can find many ways to become reality, we want to see collective efforts, collective understanding and actions to be proposed in the PIs. So It's very important that PIEs focus on community norms, share cultural practices, and local knowledge so that this may improve the sustainability of our water management. Next, please. Okay, the accelerator, I'm leaving the floor to Fran from the EPICAN, which is one of the partner of the Partner for Ocean Water project. Fran?
Good morning to everybody. First of all, it's nice to have you here, and we hope you have good summer, but time to work in our call. So I will explain you a bit about the accelerator. If you can move next. So the call not only gives you financial support, but we are supposed to also help you in catalyzing and accelerating your projects and go to maximize the impact and the ocean literacy and the awareness on such a mission that we have. And so we will work with you together, trying to share knowledge with you, sometimes from you to us, sometimes from us to you, but trying to give you all the key elements in order to success in your proposal. We have a nice consortium, strong consortium that will try to help you in all the details and the key elements during this 6 months residency. Also connecting with the ecosystem and all the related issues. You will have fully connection with a dedicated mentor during the whole process, and also access to special dedicated sessions according to your requirements about ethics or privacy or ocean literacy or scientific support, assuming that you have a strong consortium too, and you have the knowledge enough to work with that. Of course, we will have to be present at the end of the residency in Barcelona to showcase what you have done in your local environments, but we will try to go with you during the whole process and help you as much as we can, and together to go for the better success. I think, yeah. The accelerator goes with 3 phases. At the beginning, we will help you to, let's say, start on the same page and to have the same ideas. And we will work a lot at the beginning for the basics of the Partner for Oceans and Water in order to align the main common issues like idea, participation of the end user and all these kind of things. And this first phase, it's a grouping sessions. And also we will promote the interaction between you all in order to share also knowledge, best practice, and experiences. And then in the second phase that will last around 4 months, let's say, this is the part on what you are doing, and we will help you, let's say, on demand, according to your really needs during the implementation phase and according to the expertise that we have inside the consortium, but also in the ecosystem. And at the end, at the last month, we will help you as much as we can with the exhibition in your local facilities, also with the sailing lab this time, but also in the presentation in the final demo day that we plan to help you on also promoting your projects far beyond your local environments, trying to give you visibility not only in Barcelona between us, but also in the ecosystems in a way to try to promote the replicability and the, let's say, exploitation far beyond the project of your projects. It's important, these kind of things. You have to implement it locally, but also be present in one way or another in Barcelona at the end. The better presence you have in Barcelona, more opportunities to really give visibility to your project. So I know that maybe you cannot replicate the whole project in Barcelona because this is a long process, engaging communities and everything, but we will help you on finding the way to better explode your results in a way to give visibility to the community that we plan to have. And of course, as you know, this is Cascade funding. We have to be clear with the work we are doing. We will give you support financially, but also in many, many hours from the consortium. So we will have to do some reviews at the midterm and on the final term in order to detect potential issues, because at the end we have to also validate your work with the Commission and with us. So it's important to take it seriously. We will try to don't put too many workload in your side. So I will recommend you to just be serious and try to deliver and explain the potential barriers, outcomes, issues, or whatever. But as we plan to be part of your team to be really, let's say, result oriented and go for the best results. And
Thank you.
Chiara?
Yes, thank you, Fran. Okay, now we are at the second open call challenge. So the specific challenge that we required the proposal for the second open call are going to tackle with. And so I leave the floor to Antonella, T6 Ecosystem, our partners for the call, explaining what we expect in terms of content.
Yeah. So this is really, really important to be read and to be studied carefully. First, before we start, an important disclaimer. Everything that will be said today do not substitute the guide of applicants of the FIQ and the official documentation of the project. So your Bible is the guide of applicants, is the FIQ. There are two documents, they are uploaded on the project website. There you will find all the information, and all the information that are there are important and need to be considered. In 1 hour today, we will tell you the most, bold things, the main points, but all the details are there and are relevant, even if we don't have the time today to go through all of them. So one of the things you have to consider is, yes, the overall goal of a PI is to increase ocean literacy of European citizens. But this is the general. But what we are looking for this specific goal are projects that are engaging Mediterranean community to prevent, study, and tackle water pollution. So this is the challenge. Your project needs to address this challenge. So even if you have a project in mind that is super fantastic, but is working on, I don't know, climate change impact on ocean mammals, it's not for this goal. This goal is just for projects that prevent, study, and tackle water pollution by engaging Mediterranean communities. And these three words need to be considered: prevent, study, and tackle. We're looking for bold proposals that actively engage citizens, as Chiara Certoma, our coordinator, already said. This is central. And we want them to move beyond simple awareness raising. So they have to combine science-based research with experimental and understudied artistic practices to co-create new ways of understanding and tackle pollution. So we really want to see science plus art, good science, good art, a little bit out of the box kind of things. This focus should be on community living in close proximity to the ocean, water basin, and rivers. It means that you have to move from key societal and environmental challenges that are important for those communities, with the aim of amplifying unheard community voices. You see again the centrality we give to citizens, to communities, to bottom-up kind of issues. So what are the issues related to pollution that your local community are facing? Proposal can focus on any type of pollution. Everything from solid waste, chemical, nutrient pollution, micro and nano pollution, biological pollution, noise, light, thermal, or pathogen pollution. So you pick the ones that are relevant for your local community. We give particular attention. We particularly welcome proposals that adopt a whole system approach. That means that consider the entire chain of action that generate pollution and the interplay between fresh water and ocean. So from the river, from the river to the sea. Focus on less investigated form of pollution and their effect. And also, we would like to see projects that investigate the invisible, uncertain, and unknown aspect of pollution. So, a lot of pollution are not visible, especially for citizens, especially for not experts, but sometimes also for experts. So, work on this sensory absence and how we can make sense of something that we cannot directly perceive with our senses. We are also welcoming proposals that investigate the social impact of pollution, so including how it affects, reshape communities, their way of living, how they see their future, and how already existing communal practice can be valorized. Some of our communities are already experimenting with solutions for preventing, studying, and tackle water pollution. So, how can we valorize them? This is super important. This second open call is open exclusively to proposals that can host the part art for ocean water sailing lab in a yacht, harbor, or marina during its Mediterranean navigation route. So the sailing lab is a boat, is a physical sailing boat that will go around the Mediterranean from Nettuno, Rome, to Badalona, Barcelona. It will start the journey on the 21st of June and will arrive to Barcelona on the 26th, just before the demo day. And he will visit selected project on its route. Your project need to be on this route. During the stop, the Sailing Lab team will attend your event, will meet you, with the artist, with the expert, with community member, will do video interviews, we produce high quality photo and video documentation. The goal is to, on one hand, strengthen the connection among the creative community, and on the other end, to increase the visibility of the project by producing communication material that stand out and can be spread. So can increase your visibility beyond your already existing networks. This in the map, you see a red area selected, and this is the area in which your project can have the event. Ideally, should be the final event of your program, but should be an important event. So the events need to be in the red map, and in the yellow point, so Trapani, Alicante is the maximum south, let's say, that the sailing lab can go. This is because we have 1 month of navigation, a little bit more than 1 month of navigation, and this is let's say, the area that can be covered. Of course, the routes are multiple possible routes, and we will see where the pie are located, and then according to the location of the pie, we will organize the actual route. In order to assure that you can host the living lab, the sailing lab, you have to provide a letter of intent signed by the legal representative of the harbor or marina that you select. And you will find a template for this letter of intent as an annex in the guide of applicants.
Antonella, if you can skip, thank you. Just to prevent further question about it, and just to make these things clear, the red area that you see selected, the red line that identify a specific area of the Mediterranean Sea is not negotiable. This means that we are not accepting proposal that envisage the to perform at least the final or the main event in somewhere other places, I mean, outside of this area. So this is something that cannot be taken into consideration. So it's a kind of strictly eligibility rule for this call due to technical, organizational, and logistic factors related to the sailing lab possibility to visit, to select and visit the pies. Sorry, just to make this clear. So the area are entirely from Trapani to Alicante, and it encompasses the Italy, France, and parts of Spain, southern coast. Okay, yeah. And the island as well, of course.
Yeah,
as well.
So you can do, just to be very practical, you can have your final event in Alghero. You cannot have your final event in Catania or Murcia or Malaga. Okay? It has to be inside the red area. Of course, we expect.
Yeah, sorry, just and this also means that the letter from the harbor needs to be the letter of acceptance from the harbor, saying that it's possible to host the sailing club, and the harbor has all the condition, the necessary condition for hosting the kind of boat that the sailing club is using, needs to be in one of the harbor, in one of the coast in the red area, just to make this super clear.
Yeah. So Patricia is asking, Adriatic Sea cannot be included? No, it cannot be included. Of course, we preach what we do what we preach. So the project need to be fully sustainable, including the use of sustainable materials, circular solution, and renewable energy. We don't want project to work on pollution and then increase the pollution problem. And if you are selected, you commit to participate to the Climate Pact pledge. And again, you will find more information on this in the Guide of Applicants and European Commission dedicated page. And you should work toward full decarbonization or at least carbon neutrality of your project and all the activities related to your project. So we speak a little bit about eligibility. So for this call, one of the main criteria is the areas in which the port, the harbor that you will select in order to perform your ideally final event or major event, but there are others. So again, you have the full list in the Guide of Applicants and the FAQs, but we welcome proposal from individual, legal entity, and consortia. Applicants must be legally established in a EU member state or associated country. Entity from third countries may participate in consortium but cannot receive direct funding from Partner for Ocean and Water and must receive funding through an EU-based project lead. So okay, they can be in the consortia, but they cannot lead a consortia. Clearly, the entity is subject to EU restrictive measure under Article 29 of the Treaty of the European Union and Article 215 of the Treaty of the Functioning of the EU are not eligible to participate in any capacity. All projects must be implemented within the European territories, member states, or in associated country. Every entity is allowed to participate in only one application, either on its own or as part of a consortium. So from the previous call, we know this is not easy for a large organization, large university with different departments and also a research center that may have different locations. So we ask you to check internally if there are other colleagues that are participating to the call, and you have to select only one application. Double funding is not allowed. It means if you already have funds for running a project on ocean literacy in the area selected and whatever, on pollution and everything, and you click off the box, is already funded, you can still participate to Partart, but Partart cannot cover the costs, the activities that are already funded by a previous fund. You can have complementary funding, but there should be in your proposal a clear distinction that what you are asking for to Partart are new activities, are something that is not already covered by other funding. Project and organization that have been funded by the first call of Partart cannot participate to this second one. As said, applicants must provide a letter of intent from an harbor marine authority that will host the sailing lab. In the Guide of Applicants, you have a template that specifies also what does it mean practically in terms of what are the the technical necessities of the sailing lab, and also there is a dedicated annex that describe the sailing lab and its need. All application must be submitted by the deadline 2nd of October, 5 p.m. set, with a valid application form. The valid application form is on Part Art for Ocean website and in the guide of applicants. Please do not wait at the last moment to submit, because the platform we are using is a very good platform, but still, if we have a lot of people working at the same time, it can slow down. And we have to be strict, so it will be 5 p.m. If your project arrives 5 minutes after 5 p.m., it will not be considered eligible. We will not review it. So please, since you can modify your application, so you can submit an application tomorrow and then keep working and modifying and updating it. Do not wait the final day in the final moment to click the final button, the submission button, but do it well in advance in order to avoid a problem. Because for us, we are sorry that we have to invalidate project that arrived a few minutes after, but this is the eligibility criteria and we have to be serious on that. In the application, in the submission platform, you will find several questions and you have to answer to all of them. And all application must be accompanied by a signed declaration of honor. Of course, there is the template of the declaration of honor. You cannot change it. You cannot change any of the documents that we provide. You have to use them. So what happened after submission? So you read the guide of applicants and FAQ, you download the forms and the templates, you download the letter of intent and assure it is signed by your legal representative and sign or digitally sign. Then you do the same for the declaration, you do this for the declaration of honor, and then for the letter of intent, you have to have it signed by the legal representative of the harbor or marina you selected. If you do not have an account on EasyChair, which is the platform we are using for the submission, you have to create one, and you will find a guideline, an how-to guide to how to do that and how to interact with the submission platform. You write your proposal using the template provided, you answer all the questions, and you submit the proposal. This is the screenshot of the website, so you find all the documents that we mentioned so far and that we will mention in the next minutes. Then we do the eligibility check. The projects that are eligible will go to the review stage. Each proposal will be reviewed by 3 reviewers. Each reviewer will give their scores and also comments, the reasoning of the score attributed. Then we will rank the project and create a short list of projects that will be interviewed. In the interview, you will have 5 minutes to pitch your project, and then we will do questions in order to go deeper in the understanding of your proposal, and then Part Art team will make the final decision. The proposal is divided in 3 main parts: relevance, quality, and impact. And these are also the 3 main criteria for the evaluation. So the expert will give a score from 0 to 5 to your proposal in terms of relevance, quality, and impact. In order to pass to the ranking stage, you have to pass the threshold of all the selected criteria plus the threshold that consider overall. We will interview 21 proposals, which is 3 times the project that will be financed. In fact, we will finance 7 new PI. All the information and more information on this is in the guide of applicants. In the application form, you will find 10 rules, let's say, instructions about the page limit is 5. the font you have to use, the spacing, the formatting, and everything. You have to respect it. So we will not consider eligible proposals that, for example, are longer than 5 pages, or that write in 9 minimal font size in order to have more space for describing the project. It has to be, for the application form, rules need to be respected. Otherwise, your project will not be considered eligible for the review stage. 5 pages are not a lot. So don't waste words around. Go to the point. Answer the questions. So if we are asking what is the impact of your project, you must answer to these questions and not to something else. It's important for reviewers to find the information they are looking for in order to give the to be able to do a proper review. So really be specific. We are receiving a large amount of proposal, so the ones that stand out are the ones that are clear, to the point, answering the challenge of the open call, and really describe also the process and implementation process in a clear way. So if you want, you can use design, you can use graphs, you can use bullet point. Please really put some time in writing proposal in a way that is really standing out from others in terms of clarity and respecting the guidelines. So the guidelines are there for you. Please study them carefully in order to increase your chance to be selected. Be pragmatic, realistic, and logically coherent. So do not overpromise. Do not, if you tell us that you're going to engage 10,000 citizens, it's fine if you then in the activities explain how you will reach 10,000 people. Otherwise, do not overpromise. Be realistic and be coherent, let's say. Okay.
On this point,
Yep.
for me, on this point, you are going to we are going to explain also the rules for the founding. So how we are going to found the selected pies, and you will come to know that we expect at the end of your project to have a report about what you have done, further than following all of the activities and completing all of the activities envisaged by the accelerator. Therefore, the final installment is going to be delivered, is going to be sent to your organization only after we will go through the report and check that the activity, the promised activity has been performed. This is a further reason for not over-promising and for being pragmatic and realistic, but also ambitious. So to get the final installment, half of the amount. Sorry, please go on.
Yeah, these are the deadlines. So the project, the call closed on the 2nd of October at 5 p.m. chat. And then you will see here on the website then the timing. So when you will know about if you are shortlisted for the interviews will be between the 20th and the 27th November. Please consider that we cannot change these dates. We will give you a specific date and time, and we cannot negotiate this because we have tight schedule. So for example, if you already know that from 20 to 27, nobody of your consortium can attend a potential interview, that's no reason to participate, I would say. I mean, these are really fixed. A date can have slightly change in case of delay, but it has to be one of the things you consider, for example. And the accelerator starts the 2nd of February and lasts for 6 months. Now I give the floor for the financial guidelines to Caterina.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good morning. So my role here today is to guide you through the financial aspects of the call, as in the submission process, you will be asked to prepare a first idea of a draft of budget, and these guidelines can help you drafting it. So next, please. First of all, let's see how much you can receive. So each pie can get up to 50,000 euros. And please don't ask for more, because this is the maximum we
Caterina, we
can
cannot
offer
hear you very well.
for each pie.
Caterina,
You cannot hear me? Is
you're
it better
broken.
like this?
Give it a try.
Okay, let me see. Okay, can you hear me better now? Okay, sorry about that. So next thing is to see how are the payments scheduled. So Chiara mentioned before that there will be a final installment, because this is because the funds will be transferred as a lump sum in 2 stages. The first 50% of the payment will be provided at the beginning, so by the first month of an accelerator, and 50% will be provided at the end of the 6 months accelerator period, and this will be delivered after the delivery of final report. So of course it is linked to the way in which you, let's say, you implemented the project. So this means that you have to consider that some costs, so 50% of the costs, will have to be advanced by the PIs before the end of the project. So next, please. So let's take a little step back. What is a lump sum? I mentioned before. A lump sum is a sum that is based on the budget estimate that you will provide us in the proposal. Of course, the accuracy and the credibility of the budget, it will be evaluated as part of the selection process, and can be then negotiated with the part consortium during the negotiation phase. The specificity of this type of funding is that no budget report will be required. However, as it is a lump sum, however, you will have to keep the receipts and the justification of the expenses for a period of 5 years. Because the European Commission can always conduct an audit. So please keep all the, let's say, the tracking papers of your expenses. Next, please. So here, just an overview of the general principles of the eligible costs. So every expenses you make have to be, of course, actually incurred. So only real estimate can be eligible. They have to be budgeted and necessary. They have to comply legally with national laws and on taxes, labor, and social security. They have to be done in during the project duration. So all the costs must fall within the project period. So you cannot start spending the money before the start of the accelerator, nor after the end of it. They have to be identifiable and verifiable, so traceable, and of course, financially responsible. So they have to be in line with activities you will do. Next, please. Just here, I will give you an overview of what you can spend the money on. So the different categories on which you can use the money. First of all, you have personal costs, so salaries, social contributions based of annual costs. Then you have subcontracting costs, so you can ask an external entity to do part of your activities, but this type of subcontracting must be limited and follow competitive market practices. So you can subcontract something, but not too much, as the project is yours to implement and to carry out. So next, please. Then we have the purchase costs. Here there is it's important to remember that while the expenses for travel and subsistence are completely can be covered with the projects fund. Equipment and renting are can be funded only following their depreciation costs. So if you, for example, buy a laptop with the project money, you can only cover the time in which you use this laptop for the project for. So not 100% of these costs can be covered. So keep in mind this when you write your proposal and your budget idea. Then we have other goods, works and services, internally voiced goods and services. You can find all the information also in the guide of applicants. So next, please. Finally, the final category of eligible costs is indirect costs. Indirect costs are all those expenses that cover things such as rent, administration, printing, photocopying, so like everyday expenses, and they can cover up to 25% of the eligible direct costs. And there are some exceptions of things that can be covered with these indirect costs, which are the financial support for third parties, subcontracting, and other aspects that also you can find listed in the guide of applicants. So keep in mind that you can 25% of the total amount with these indirect costs, but not more than 25%. Next, please. There are also some things you cannot cover with the fund of the project. For example, deductible VAT that is recoverable under your national tax system cannot be charged to the project. And so yes, keep in mind that this is something you have to consider. All costs, except for purchase equipment that I mentioned before, are recovered 100% and need to include the indirect cost charged on top of the total direct cost. So remember that these indirect costs can reach up to 25%. So next one, please. Just a quick overview of the justification of the expense you have to keep for the next 5 years in case you are selected. Here we have for the personal costs, you have to keep contracts, the payroll records, for the subcontracting invoices, management documentation. So basically everything that can trace your expenses, okay? Also, this information is all available in the guide of applicants, and it's key that you keep it for the future 5 years. Next, please. I think for me it's all. I will now give the floor to my colleague Luca that will give you an overview of the contract you will sign. Thank you.
Thank you, Caterina. Good morning, everybody. I go super fast because we don't have too much time left. So when if you will win, you will sign a contract with us, the beneficiary, which is the leading team of Partarte, our group of Uniroma 1, La Sapienza, and you, the third party. You can skip and go to the next one, since on the third party on the column third party, there are tips on eligibility that Antonella already talked about. So the content of the contract is about the reciprocal obligation we have among the two parties, we, the beneficiary, and you, the third party. And it explains all the methods, requirements, and timing of payments. Already, Chiara and Caterina talked about that. So you will receive the first part of the 50% of the funding at the beginning, before the beginning, and then the second 50% of the payment after we will validate the report. You will send us at least 1 month after the end of the accelerator, so before the end of the 7th month after the first day of the project. In the contract, there are also some annexes. So please, you find also the contract in the guide for applicants, so you can read it now before participating in the call. So please read it carefully. If you have any questions, ask ask them to us through the email you can find in the web page of the call. So go ahead, please. The next one. In signing the contract, the third party specifically commits to carry out the activities outlined in the call for proposal. So according with the challenges and all the other things the colleagues already talked about. And in the final work plan, you will prepare in the first month of the accelerator. This is very important because after the negotiation phase, after the evaluation, if you will win, your proposal will go through the ethical advisor for an ethical review. So in the first month of the accelerator, in the first 30 days, you will be invited to integrate all the suggestions you will receive in the final work plan, which is the new version, final definitive version of your project you will implement in the 5 months of the accelerator after the first one, in which you will write it and integrate all the suggestions you will receive. So please, the next one. These are very this is the I'll say the deadlines you have. The payments already talked about that. What is important is that after the first month of the accelerator, you will start preparing your project and implement it. But at the midterm, at the end of the third month, we will, as Fran said at the beginning, we will have a kind of midterm interview with you to monitor how the work is progressing. And then after the end of the accelerator, you will have 1 month to prepare the final report, and then we will have another month to evaluate it. And if you win and if you enter the process, you will receive all the templates which are needed to write the final report and the work plan. So we will provide you everything you need to do it at the best. Please, the next one. Okay, maybe I can go very quick here. In the final report, you will have to answer and to fulfill all these kind of sections, but we will give you a template, so don't worry, and that will be super clear in the case you will win. And yes, when seeing the contract, you have to give us your bank account, so it is quite sensible as an information. You will give it us through this form, which is the official one provided by the Commission. So trust us, this is the official mean to communicate to us this kind of information. This is attached to the contract. Next, please. This is the final 2 information for you. At the end of in the contract, there are also other 2 annexes. One is about the informed consent form you will use to involve people in your project. So skip, please, the next one. And I know there are also the declaration of honor, but I can skip it since Antonella already talked about that. We don't have time, so please skip again. The informed consent form I talked about 2 consent forms. One is about the relationship you have with us. So we, as a consortium, we have seen a DSA, that is a data sharing agreement. So while entering the process, you will agree to share with all the consortium your information, and we will provide you a template to give us this permission. And we will also give you another form which will be used. It is mandatory to be used. You can change it. You can ask us if you can use something different, but formally you will have that one, which is for involving the people in your project. So if you will interview children, you go through other issues which are ethical, relevant, and so on, and you will provide data and engage other people. For all those cases, you will have a template we will provide you, which is mandatory to be used to receive the permission for the people involved to be there. So next, please. Thank you. Super quick.
Sorry, okay. Thank you. Thanks everybody for the presentation. I hope most of the questions that attendants may have has been already answered with our presentation, but I'd like to go through some of the questions that has been placed in the meeting chat, and especially those referring to the geographical limits of this call. This call is focused on the specific area that we showed, and you will find again the map in the guidelines. For what concern next call, this is going to be issued in I mean, the routes for the next call are going to be defined and made public when the next call will be out. So we are not anticipating, we cannot anticipate them right now, I'm sorry. For what concerned geographical indication, this is motivated and it's strongly, I mean, we cannot skip this. This is something that we cannot avoid. This is motivated by the possibility for the sailing club to select amongst the winning proposals, the winning pies, the ones that are going to be visited by the sailing club itself. So not all the winning pies are going to be visited by the sailing club, but the selection will be operated by the consortium and by the technical staff that is going to manage the sailing club on the base of the visibility of the possibility to easily access the harbor in the route that the sailing club is going to select. And also there are questions about the route. So whether the sailing club is, when it is passing in one, is visiting one harbor or another, we cannot anticipate it. It is something that is going to be negotiated with the selected pies once we will have the final result of this call. Therefore, from your side, it is expected that you submit a proposal if you want to submit, and if you think that is interesting for you and you are in the position to do it, to submit a proposal whose main event or final event is organized in one of the harbor in the red area, let's call it red area, selected with the red line. Please pay attention, read very carefully. This is why we use the term study the guidelines, and read very carefully also the annexes, including the annex that you will need to have signed by the harbor authority, because there are some specific conditions and not all the harbors in the selected area may comply with these conditions. So it's also important that all the elements, all the characteristics that are listed in the Annex 7, which is the one for the signature of the harbor authority, are tickets. So all of them need to be present in order for the harbor to be accessible for the sailing club, which is a specific technical requirement. The motivation for the geographical selection of the area is given by the project itself and the request by the European Commission to realize the project fully. Therefore, the sailing club is an integral part of it, and it needs to be realized, and it can also only be realized in this specific area for logistic, technical, and meteorological conditions as well. Again, there is a question about the possibility to I cannot find the question again. It's from Luxembourg. The possibility to reside somewhere and write a project for another place. It is legally possible, but I want to attract your attention once again that we don't want top-down or projects that are just produced and delivered in a somewhere based on the geographical limits of this call. We strongly want to have, and the reviewer are going to focus on this point, participatory processes, which entails participation from the beginning to the end of the project. So not only in the event, in the main event or in the final event. This means that you can't write your project if you are residing somewhere else, not in the selected area, but it's we are looking for participatory processes. Therefore, the event, the final event, or the main event is something that need to have people involved, and also people involved in the creation of event itself. So you need to work with the communities that work around your core idea. And this is something that needs to be taken into consideration because we don't want just artistic project, we want participatory art project.
A clarification on this, you can be, I can be resident in Luxembourg, but work for the project in Italy, for example, where the project will be implemented. So there are eligibility criteria for your legal entity or for individual. So you must be resident in European countries. Then the implementation areas are in another eligibility criteria. So again, we cannot go case by case and we cannot provide answer case by case now, but you will find all the information in the guide of applicants and the FAQ. And of course, there is also a email address to which you can write for the specific cases. And in that case, and in this way, we can go more deep and say, okay, you are from Luxembourg. So we go to the annex in which we have the list of all the countries that are eligible. We check it. Then you say, I want to implement the project in Madrid. Then we go to the other annex and we check. Then we have the event in Valencia. So these are things that need to go one by one. Otherwise, we risk to be misleading. But yeah, if you are thinking about a project that is not engaging the Mediterranean communities, then it's a problem because the challenge is on Mediterranean pollution in the Mediterranean with Mediterranean communities. So
Yes, thank you. Okay.
do you have other questions? Someone was asking, is 2 months is a very short period? Do you think you can have proposal in this? And yeah, we do. We do think, because the previous call was a little bit longer, but was the first one. So we have quite a lot of proposals in the first round. So we are optimistic that we will have proposals also for this call. And this is the requirement we have of our project is the call will be open for 2 months. Also, the next call will be open for 2 months. So this is the timing.
Is there any question we have not answered yet?
You can raise your hand, turn off your mic and talk. When will the next call be up?
So I have a question.
We don't have the date yet, but will be in few months, let's say.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it correct to understand that you have 7 projects within the Mediterranean area? Or do you want to have consortiums that is working, for example, in Ibiza, Barcelona, Monaco? You want to have consortium across working on the same topic with artists?
This is up to you. Can be multiple countries, can be a consortium based in multiple countries that implement the project in multiple countries. Yes, absolutely. The important thing is that then you pick one of the event of your project in this between the 21st of June and the 26th of July in an harbor that is in the area. But definitely you can have consortium that goes around Europe.
Yeah.
As the
I'm working with a big company working on plastic credits in Barcelona.
Mhm.
Are you already working on this plastic credits on pollution, or are you into microplastic and nanoplastic, for example?
You can pick any kind of pollution you want to study and want to work on. So we don't have preference on the typology of pollution. But just be considered that we clearly state we want to go beyond awareness raising. So study the phenomenon and do something that is going in depth in the analysis of the phenomenon of pollution and art on top of that, or with that, not on top of that, sorry, twisted with that, merged with that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So if I understand right, we need to have an event in one of the areas, but it may not be done. Not selected, yes. Also, the final event in the bust could be in Italy, although the date will be decided later. But will this date be within any of the 6 months of the accelerator or just the final one? Alessandra, please explain a little bit better. So,
Sorry, I can, it's the corrector.
okay.
I was
So
confused. I'm confused because I'm thinking that the sailboat will start from the East Coast, like Italy, and move towards the West because the final event will be in Barcelona.
Yeah.
So if one wants to make a whatever performance they want on the East Coast, they must do it before it is final. That was my question. Or the sailing boat can go first to the east and then to the west, or do they?
No. Of course, it will go from east to west, from Rome to Barcelona. But we said one event, ideally the final one, but can be also not a final one. Can be your project can have multiple stages with multiple events. We hope it will have multiple activities with the communities. So you can pick one of these one of these activities in those dates between the 21 of June and the 26th of July. Then when out of the 7 pie that we have, all of them will provide the date of these events, and then the Sailing Lab will pick only two projects that will be visited by the Sailing Lab. So they will look at the timing, but also will look at the kind of event, what's going to happen, and based on this, and also technical consideration, meteorological consideration, etc., will pick the other 2 events. So in your budget, for example, you have to consider the event. And you have to consider the cost of the event. Then if you are not the one, if you win, you are one of the 7, but you are not the one that will be visited by the Sailing Lab, we will revisit together the related costs, the related agenda. It's not a problem that should stop you from sending a proposal out because you are in the East, so you have to close your project 1 month before. No, it does not have to be the final one. It has to be an important, a nice event, something that the survey journey, let's say, the survey visit.
Okay, so okay, I understand. So if it's not one of 7 projects will be chosen, if it's not one of, and 2 of these will be of event of a sailing boat, on the Sailing Lab, and if one wins but is not getting, that will readjust the budget because the cost will not be included, right? And okay, but all right. And then, so I suppose if one wants to be near its final event in Italy, it should be closer to put as date somewhere, something close to June, the end of June.
So can I add something to this? So because I'm part of the Sailing Lab expedition, so when there will be the winners, we're gonna make a discussion together, organizing the date according to the navigation plan. So this is something that has to be a bit flexible on both sides. And so, for example, like Antonella say, we cannot start from Rome, go near to Barcelona, and then go back on Cagliari, on Palermo, and then go back to Barcelona. So this is something that after the process of the winning will be done, we start a discussion together and to find the right way and the agreement to have a good patch considering the meteo, the timing, and also the project itself. So the date could be flexible on both sides at the moment. It's not possible to decide a fixed date for each one.
Yeah, so far it's important that you can have the letter of intent signed by an harbor and marina, because this gives us, the assurance that you are willing to host the Sailing Lab. But then we will manage together. If you're not selected, we will find other ways to give you visibility. Don't worry. I mean, the important things is that you are open and you plan your project with this in mind. Then if you win, we'll have plenty of time to discuss it further.
Yes, well, I have one more question. So the marina should host a boat, that's the idea, or should host the boat and the performance, let's imagine a performance on the beach in front of a boat. So the project has to be within the boat or can be where the boat is? And
No. It cannot be on the boat for sure. It's not that, it's a small boat. It has to be sensible. So if the boat arrive in a harbor and then have to take one bus and run for 2 hours in order to get to the event, to arrive to the event, then the event is not in the harbor anymore. But it depends on the harbor. There are harbor that can host the event. There are harbor that do not have the physical space, so you go close by. But it has to be an event in which the boat arrive, the team goes down from the boat with all the equipment for making the videos, etc., and arrive to the event easily. Right? Correct, Chiara, Federico?
thank you.
Yes, this is
Okay, we're looking for something that will be like an occasion to be together, to visualize together the same lab, your event, like one entity. So this way we figure that it will work quite well on the project, on the communication too.
Okay. Do you have other
Thank
questions?
you.
Yeah, it's okay, thank you. I think it was questions that everybody has in mind, so this helped us in clarify the points. Again, please, if you have any doubts, drop us an email, and we will answer you as soon as possible, considering that is August, and for some days we will be off, but you will find an auto reply in that case, and you will know when we are going to back. Where the email is on the project website, of course, but I can also post it here in a second.
On this point, I just want to flag that this email address is the only official communication channels. So please, for the questions referring to the application process, or also for questions about the outcomes, the results of the application process, use the official email and don't ask information through different social media or other channels.
Yeah, we will not answer. We will not consider your email. This is important because we have to give to all the applicants the same opportunity. So this is the channel. You send an email, we will reply you. If you, you will see also on the social media that this will not be answered. You can, of course, you can interact on social media saying, nice picture or nice idea, nice event, blah, blah, blah. But if you ask about eligibility criteria on social media, you will not get an answer, so don't use it. And the email is in the page of the call, and now I will send you. Fran, do you want to introduce the next thing? So the matchmaking session.
Not really. No, just kidding. Okay, yeah. Now, let's say that we are done with the official information, and now we have prepared something like a kind of matchmaking event. If some of you want to stay and start sharing some ideas, looking for potential collaborations or whatever, it will be quite organic, but we will be here with you. If you don't want to be there, you just can leave now the room, and that's it. This is a much more interconnected session, so I will ask you to open your camera and to start debating. If not, it's okay. You can feel free to go and start working in the proposal. So no worry about that.
But it will not be recorded, right?
Exactly. We will stop the recording and we will start. It will be something like personal. So Marina,